Fiji, Fiji, Fiji. Fiji is such a small world for such a grand place. That's why we say Fiji rapidly 3 times when we're speaking of these islands, for they deserve the larger attention. Fiji is actually quite large when comparing South Pacific island groups. There are 2 main islands best suited for living, with hundreds of smaller islands more suited for exotic tourism. Fiji is about perfect for visiting and even better for residing, as so many of us are experiencing who live here. Viti Levu is the main island, the big island, where the big city of Suva sits by the sea. Suva is busy and with all its malls and commercialism emulates the fully self-contained cities of anywhere in the world. Okay, Suva is a good place to get supplies and business done, but then we long for getting back to more of Fiji's nature and back to the most comfortable living areas in the few chosen expat communities in Fiji. The second largest island in Fiji's stunning group is Vanua Levu. We live here, and I want to tell you about it. This story will have you looking over my shoulder as we spend our time here in paradise of Fiji. Fiji, Fiji, Fiji. I am Robert. We rarely use our last names, our surnames, and even the locals call us Mr. Robert or Miss Susie. You can go years without knowing someone's surname. Things are relatively informal in these ancient islands where time can stand still, and which day of the week it is, it doesn't really matter. We live in a perpetually inspired state thanks to nature's contribution of some of her very best work. There are just a few thriving expat communities in native-friendly Fiji, with Savusavu town on Vanua Levu Island being the winner, at least as far as all of us who live here are concerned. The Savusavu community has a distinctive variety of interesting people and some real characters right out of old movie scenes. The people mix is quite stimulating. They come in all ages and states of being, single, married, and some that aren't too sure. The primary expat folk are mostly North Americans with enough Canadians to make their presences known, and then the Aussies abound, with even enough New Zealanders to balance that out too. Of course, there are some Europeans, with predominantly the ever-entertaining Germans, the adventure seekers of Europe. They are in greater numbers than any from that side of the world. Like the Noah's Ark, I think we have 2 of every kind of people from all around the world. Our typical day has to be the daydream of any unfortunate working stiff, stuck in the plant or in a cubicle back home. Somehow, no one seems to really be working here, yet in some way we all do, sort of like submarines. No one sees us in service. Everyone manages to keep busy with one thing or another, but not so much so they can't take a little time or a lot of time to socialize over a beer or even a fresh fruit smoothie. We have the best deals on food out here. The restaurants can't be making any money with the prices they charge for some really fine food. Some of the single folks never cook at home. They can get fresh caught snapper and they can have range-fed local beef with potatoes, fries, and salads, and all of that together sells for less than $7 or $8 US. Today I stopped by the yacht club where virtually every expat living here is a member. Membership is cheap. He would turn that down at $10 US annual cost, and it's the greatest little club by the sea. A local beer is less than $3 US, which is why some drink so many. There are 2 restaurants in the same remodeled old copra mill right on the water, and they will deliver those heavenly meals to the yacht club with a smile and noting your name at no extra charge. Almost everyone knows each other, including the staff of the various businesses from the markets to the petrol stations. Of course, there are the recluses who are quite content to stay out of the mainstream, perhaps tied to home from being mesmerized by the extraordinary views of this spectacular island we thrive upon. They are equally respected for their chosen way. There's a lot of latitude given to all of us, and we know we all belong. They need us, and we need them. Symbiotic is the word to describe how we assimilate in this most interesting society. People are a big part of the makeup of the draw to want to live in any given area, but equally drawing, and perhaps the deciding factor, is the incredible environment and the awesome views for one. We might be sitting at the accommodating, inexpensive Hot Springs Hotel overlooking the west end of town and straight out into the grand Savusavu Bay, where no artist can resist to stop what they are doing and get that scene on their canvas. Cameras just can't capture it, beautiful as the pictures show, for the real thing is beyond a camera's comprehension. The deep blue bay waters take you to the layers of mountain formations on the other side of the huge Savusavu Bay. You see blue seas becoming green hills, and then mountains of green-gray with fading layers of more mountains into lighter grays until you seem to reach infinity in your visual perception. Fiji will provide your daily fix of sensory fulfillment. Just add your favorite music, and you will wonder what took you so long to get to this place on Earth and this situation in your life. So what does it take to arrive? Probably easier than you think, because you don't need a lot of money to live in Fiji. For everything except for the huge homes in the Beverly Hills of Savusavu is cheap. You can buy or build a nice home overlooking the sea for under $150,000 US. The taxes are 000, like the name Fiji. You might consider that the next time you're paying your property and residence taxes. Another option are the 99-year land leases for residential purposes that are just now making their way into the market. These magnificent properties are many times less expensive than the freehold properties. More on long-term residential land leases the next time we talk. Another good reason to sell out of your homeland and join us in the land of the really free. Your loss there will be your gain here. I can hear someone say, too good to be true, they must have to get you somewhere. Well, let's see. The average electric bill out here is less than $60 per month, and that's with an electric clothes dryer running every other day. The cost of water isn't worth mentioning, for it's practically free and absolutely free in more places than not. All sewer out here is septic tank with leach fields, so no maintenance or cost there either. Phone service is both mobile, cell phones, and landline. The total phone bill, including a few international calls, might be under $25 US. The internet costs range from $20 to $50 US per month for high-speed broadband. So where are they getting to us? Fuel, yes, we pay about $5 per gallon. But we don't have to drive untold miles to get where we need to be or want. Of course, taking an all-day adventure trip by beaches and over and through the mountains and the waterfalls and our rivers and streams to the other end of this island is just right out of fantasy movie. Speaking of adventure trips, you don't have to go far for a waterfall experience, and the water is always refreshingly cool. Then there's the Blue Lagoon of Fiji, where you can swim in what may be nature's largest tide pool at any tide. White sandy beaches abound, and most of them are public, as the waterfront in Fiji is by design free to the people. If you are into the water scene, diving, snorkeling, sailing, fishing, and kayaking, you have found it. There are rivers you can ride the tide through the jungle to the salt lake and back out without having to paddle, if so inclined, or reclined, and it's free. Fiji, in some ways, is like a huge theme park, but there's no charge for what nature has provided us lucky folks of wondrous Fiji. Of course, nothing is perfect, so we're still working on finding out what is imperfect about Fiji. When we find it, we'll certainly report it right here. Until then, so long for now.